Happy New Year. There we go. We're rolling.
Cut it. Happy New Year. Our first episode of the new year. Welcome to back. Another episode. Big Friday podcast. Your program. What is it, Evan?
It is always a recommendation.
It's merely a suggestion. And if you're feeling good, you have our permission to go for it. Not Brittany from Bear Barbell, not Klokov, not Max Zeta, not Seb, not the weightlifting AI. No one has more power over your program than we do, and we say to send it. So, feeling good, go for it.
You know they're going to send it.
Yep.
We will represent them.
If it's there, go for it. If it's not there, maybe you just choose a complex that you feel good on that day, and you max that out instead. You send it to your coach and say, hey, look, complex PR. And they
say, Mark Bell always talked about, I feel like in his old YouTube videos in the early days of his podcast, some days when he was just having a bad time, he would just go in and hit some crazy variation of a lift and be like, hey, that's a 13 rep max PR.
When you say that like Mark would have said it though, be super out of breath and very overweight.
Gotta get a hat turn and a sniff in with it, right?
All right, folks, we are jumping in. Evan, on the top of the notes, put guest TBD. Did I put that?
I put that.
Oh, what does that mean?
Oh, I was asking you who you wanted this week.
Oh, I want.
We've got some issues from last week's episode with the RP Diet app, right?
Oh, yeah. So we are very motivated to give you guys the best content possible. Sometimes we record every 2 weeks, but sometimes we were feeling really good and we feel like the people after last episode, a lot of shares, a lot of really positive stuff from the people on last week's episode. So we're like, you know what? Let's speed up our timeline. We'll record an extra episode this week. So we reached out to, if you remember back from our semen episode, our seminal episode, we listed out the people that we wanted to have on. We have a lot of pull, so we just kind of get whoever we want on. So last week, Evan and I sat down on Tuesday to record with the RP Diet app. So the AI behind the RP Diet app. It was a very strange thing. We had to put the AI into a body, but Jake, who does all the editing here, he's really good with that kind of stuff. So RP Diet app came on. It was a really good episode, but unfortunately it won't air. Evan, why can't we put that episode out?
It's just such a direct AI, and I'm a very sensitive soul, and I've started talking about how going up a weight class wasn't a good thing to do, and started fat shaming me, started calling me out. And then, for you, it gave you some changes to your diet, right?
I believe the exact words that he used to you were, "It might be a good move, but is it a good look?" And that was really condescending.
Yeah, it was like how those shirts fit and how those pants fit. I was like, oof, okay.
Do you really want to be a size 40 waist, Evan?
I do, actually.
And Evan said, no, I'd rather not, actually, after thinking about it. And it cut Evan's carbs to -42 per day. So as the episode went along, I think we were about 9 minutes in, and Evan went into hypoglycemic shock from cutting his carbs so low. He blacked out. It was not good. It was kicking a man while he was down. The RP app was like, this is what it takes. You have to take your goals seriously. It just ended up being a very awkward episode. So we're sorry that we're not going to be able to bring that out. What we can do is we can release the 9 minutes and 45 seconds that we have if you are a member over on our Patreon. So if you go sign up on our Patreon, the link is up here. I think you can put the link stickers. Yeah, a sticker up there. And then you can also click it down below. We'll release that video. So once our Patreon hits 100 people, and once the Gifted Barbell Club account reaches 200 followers, we'll release that 9 minute 45. Just, I don't know. What would you even call it? What would be a word to describe an episode like that?
A word to describe an episode like that? It could be a short film. It could be a mockumentary. Yeah. It could just be satirical content.
I think it was a mockumentary because I felt like we were being mocked the whole time.
That's fair. Yeah. That's a fair title for it. We'll just call it the RP Diet app mockumentary.
Put your $10 a month somewhere else. Put it into our Patreon. If you use code RP Diet app destroyed my life and my wife left me and now I'm still fat, if you use that code up on the screen right now, you'll get $1 off per month.
And that will be a legitimate code. Is that going to be a code on giftedperformance.com as well?
Yeah, it's a code across the board. It's also a code that you can DM people, random people, just to let them know that you're in the know.
Yeah.
So that was unfortunate, but a piece of housekeeping that we needed to have, I think, in terms of my next best guest that we want to have on, I'd like to have Maximilian on, Mr. Ada himself. Who else? I think Max is my preferred right now. Max is someone that, and this isn't a bit, like this isn't a joke, and I'm not making fun of anyone or saying anything bad here, but like I feel like Max and I, if we were to leave our significant others, could have like a long and healthy life together. Like I feel like him and I, if you've been watching The Last of Us, like that episode where, you know, Ron Swanson and the other guy like find each other and they like, oh wow, this could actually work out. We can grow old together. I feel like that's kind of Max and I. I have a lot of fantasies about Max falling into a hole in my yard and me finding him and then like bringing him back to health like a baby bird and like we end up falling in love. So I think that's kind of... And
then you bring the bird outside to let it go and it just stays and it's like, no, I'm whole. Yeah, this is...
Max, if that doesn't bring you on the podcast, I don't know what will. Evan, who's your preferred?
Max would be a good one. Max is like the weightlifting father figure, isn't he? I was adding on to it. I was assuring you that I agree he would be a good guest.
Just painted an entire picture of like a full homoerotic love story. I don't think we need to drive the point home that I want them on. The people are there. We've sold them on it.
I think for me, a good next guest would probably be someone like Sid. I feel like a Travis Mash would be a fun one to try to get on.
Yeah.
Hearing about everything that he's trying to do, hearing about everything that he's done over the past few years with some of his athletes and some things that he's looking for in the future. I think it would be really cool to talk to him about his take with some of the developments in the sport, the future state of weightlifting, and just his background in general.
What we can also do is Jake can hook up a live VBT, like a velocity tracker, on Travis Mash's eyes during the episode. So we can get a live meters per second tracker for Travis throughout the entire episode. I feel like that'll really add to it.
We could add it for all of us. We could figure out what the norm is, figure out the velocity curve and everything, right?
Yeah.
Force velocity profiles.
What's the ideal? Yards. What are we looking for? What are we training for? What's the ideal range?
Projected 1 rep max.
Yeah, for real. Jake, get on it. So, in that order, Max and then Travis. For different reasons, but they'll be good episodes regardless.
They'd be great.
All right, our first piece of housekeeping was about the RP Diet app, so we already talked about that. Again, just a reminder, sign up for our Patreon, and we will release that episode for you guys. My second piece of housekeeping. Okay, hold on, backtracking. So I got a comment about the podcast. Last week, we got a really positive podcast. I really enjoyed it. I laugh at everything. Like, I don't really know what you guys are talking about, but it's still funny commentary. Cool, like it. This week, a little bit of a negative comment. Someone said, Ryan, I feel like housekeeping isn't true housekeeping. It's mostly just your manic ramblings and questions about things that don't really pertain to the episode. And the answer to that is yes, but I'm the guy with the podcast, and they don't hand these things out to everybody. So why don't you keep the backseat podcasting to a minimum and just sit back and enjoy?
Or come on the podcast.
Ooh, or come on the podcast. Yeah. We'll give you a nice 30-second stint. Maybe we'll even do a live call-in show. I feel like that is a great idea.
That would be a killer episode. It's a live call-in show or a live on-site podcast with somebody.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
Oh man. I want to go back to your question. I also want to have John Bros on. I love John Bros. John Bros? Average Bros Gymnasium? Coach at Patagones? What?
I think they went out of business.
So? A lot of great businesses.
All of Average Bros.
A lot of great businesses have gone out of business. So, John Bros, I love you, man. Come on the podcast.
Just about your thumb tape.
Everyone always says how you feel is a lie. You know that quote, right? How you feel is a lie? What the fuck? Evan, Jesus Christ, man. Where have you been? You did too much CrossFit. It broke your brain.
That's exactly what happened.
So, John Bros, famous quote. How you feel is a lie. Like, film your lifts so you can see how they look, because they often look.
One of the experience I had with Average Bros was the thumb tape that I tried to use when I was doing CrossFit, and it sucked.
What? So, that's like the best tape ever.
It slipped off your thumbs. It had no adhesive.
No. You got jank-ass thumbs or something. You put it on.
It's 20 palms.
I'm fully victim blaming here. You did it wrong. It's not him. It's you.
Okay.
Perfect.
We'll get him on the podcast. We'll debate.
Yeah. We'll have an episode where we actually put the tape on, and we'll see how it goes.
We'll get it from the garage back.
Live. All right, back to housekeeping, though. The person who made that comment, polite comment back to you from the GBC and the Big Friday pod is to go fuck yourself. Go listen to a different podcast if you don't like this one. Piece number 2 of housekeeping is we saw it at Nationals, Collegiate Nationals. They called it the Friendship Cup, which is about the stupidest fucking thing I could ever name a weightlifting meet. USAW, it's a sport where people put 400 plus pounds over their head. Let's not name it like a dodgeball tournament that the Boy Scouts are hosting. Let's name it something crazy. Powerlifting has embraced this. They name their meets like March to the Death 2023. It's like, fuck yeah, I want to compete in that. We're over here like
shit up.
Yeah, the Friendship Cup. Do better. But
there's another piece of it at AO1 this year, isn't there?
Is there?
I feel like I read something about that. There's something.
That's your job. Your job is to get the real information. My job is to be insane.
It's something they do that's like a multi-step thing leading up to the Olympics to promote like international relations in the sport. And I think it's the next piece of it is either at AO1 or AO2 this year. And it's going to be, again, big names internationally. Is it a USADA sting scandal? We don't know. They're on U.S. soil. It could be.
Yeah. It's our rules now. But also, death to USADA.
Absolutely.
So the question was, how many Armenian nationals are we going to see at AO1? That was the big thing at nationals. There were a bunch of Armenians there. Our boy Gore Manassian was even there. We love you, Gore. Come on the show.
He doesn't know Bahrain, though.
Yeah, don't know if you speak English. He's Bahrain. Isn't Lesman also Bahrain now?
He is.
That's so wild that they like buy their citizenship. Seems kind of like slavery with extra steps, but possibly a topic for another day.
Absolutely.
Armenian nationals. We're going to take bets. This is illegal that we're doing this, but we're going to do it anyway. We're taking bets. Where are we setting the over-under? For number 14?
14.
That's so many. That's too many. Is that what you said? Did I hear that wrong?
No, 14.
Okay.
If you think about it, well, how many are we counting? Are we counting literally individual heads, or are we saying like, hey, Lalian is like 3?
Oh, yeah, you're doing like a body size thing. Like how many?
How many seats on the plane?
How many seats on the plane do they have to buy? Yeah. Okay, we can do it by seats on the plane. That's a really good schizophrenic way to measure this thing.
14.
All right.
Yeah, we'll collect data from Southwest. We'll collect data from Delta, United, whatever airlines are flying from that part of the world.
Yeah, and we plugged in with all of them. We've had the CEO of Delta on the podcast twice. He big weightlifting fan. Loves from down.
Yeah.
All right, 14. I'm good. I'm good with 14. Also, with that and us having the data on hand, there's no way that anyone can win because we can always just change the data live.
But we won't publicly announce that we're doing that.
Absolutely not. We wouldn't do that.
No, not at all.
Cool. Next piece of housekeeping is as of late. What?
The squat jerk feud?
Not yet. This kind of bleeds into the squad. This might be the end. This might be how the squad jerk feud gets concluded. As of late, I think we saw it at AO1. We saw it at the Arnold last year.
Arnold last year.
Yes. Getting into power slap. So, Jake, get some footage of like power slap national championships and just let it run. Run 69 seconds of power slap footage starting now.
It's a good
All right.
number.
I hope you guys enjoyed that 69 seconds of power slap. It's action packed, right? So lately, I've been getting into it a lot. Shout out to Fleckus Talks. We are an unannounced, unfinancially committed, and unknown sponsor of the Fleckus Talks podcast.
Unknown until now.
Love you guys. Great stuff. I want to know, of the big name lifters, so we're talking like Lou, Ilya, Lee Diane, Rustami, Toma, who do you think would be the best power slapper? On the women's side, I think it's Toma, and it's not even close. I think Toma can power slap victory every male lifter 71 kilos and under. I think she beats all the men too.
You're going to pass up on Lee Wenwen?
So Lee Wenwen's tough. That's I wonder if there weight classes in power slap. Let me do some research.
I don't know, because some of the clips I've seen just floating around social media are like big dudes smacking like 170-pound guys.
Okay, so the first ever power slap champion will be crowned at the pay-per-view event. 4 different weight classes. So they're going heavyweight, lightweight, middleweight, and welterweight. So Lee Wenwen, but I'll take the next step. I think that Toma beats Lee Wenwen in power slap.
Pure grit.
I agree. Yeah, I think.
But Lee Wenwen gets a good slap. I think that's game over.
Who goes first? I wonder how they determine who goes first.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Ooh, nice.
Or they play like slaps. They play slaps and then they go do a power slap.
Okay.
Maybe that's it.
Thumb war. I would also accept thumb war.
Thumb war would be good. Tic-tac-toe.
Me, I'm more of a Connect 4 kind of guy.
Okay. Connect 4. Play a quick game of chess, quick game of checkers.
But no, I think Lee Wenwen and Toma would be a good matchup. I don't know which direction I would go on that. Maybe Anabolic Insider. He did the post of who you would want to recreate with or procreate with. Maybe Anabolic Insider, do a little power slap competition. Power slap weightlifting bracket.
That could be the next big thing.
Could be.
On the men's side, you bring up Kianush. I think Kianush would probably be one of those guys that no matter who smacked him, he would just stand strong and just strong jaw, straight eye. He'd give a big monologue, and then he would take his shoes off and smack him with his foot.
Ooh.
He doesn't have socks, you know?
Is that in the rules? Can you foot smack?
It's Kianush Rustami.
Yeah, you kind of do whatever you want, right? You take a seat on the platform if you want to. I came here to snatch 180 today.
I did
miss 162. Yeah. So I think purely on like who could take the most slaps, it's probably Kianush. But he doesn't look to me like someone who slaps very well. He looks like a poor slapper, high slap endurance, high slap resiliency, we'll say.
So if that match goes long, he's coming out on top.
Yes. I would say. Yeah, I would say so.
Or for Trigenic. Okay. As far as dishing those slaps out, though, Giga Chad, Team China.
Dude, I think Giga Chad could take one down. The man's got a.
He's thick.
He's thick. He's got a jaw on him. Boy got a concrete chin.
He is a block.
How do we
like Minecraft Steve?
Who do we reach out to try and arrange this? Do we have to like talk to the IWF? Do we go to the individual countries like governing bodies? Like do we have to talk to like the Chinese Weightlifting Federation? Like, hey, I know you don't know us, and I don't know you don't know what power slap is, but we think
you'd love this.
Yeah, we could make your lifters some serious money.
I think we could have introductions to team leaders through people like Seb.
Okay.
And from there, we could try and arrange it.
Seb would love this idea. I can already tell. Seb would love it. He would not give us that like standard British side eye of like, wow, these people, again, these guys.
He'd be like, yes, this is how we make weightlifting a viewer-friendly sport.
That's a good point.
In between sessions. No loading screens with 90-minute countdown clocks. Just go for it. Just make each other B session winners. Top 4 from the B session, go slap each other. You get a spot in the A session if you win.
Yeah, and this is a good way to like settle ties as well. I know it's like who lifted it first now, but personally, I think that's a little outdated. Maybe at the max out blackout, we handle any ties via power slap.
I think we need to get some different waivers for that.
One of the challenge cards is that you must take a power slap from what's Brittany's big boy's name? Aaron? Is that his name?
Aaron. God.
Aaron. You got to get power slapped by Aaron.
You wouldn't even be in the building anymore.
You would just dust. You would just turn into ash. It would be Thanos snapping his fingers. You would just slowly, I don't feel too good, Tony.
Disintegrate. Turn into little black speckled triangles and float off into the wind.
If you have any comments about Power Slap, drop below. Who do you think would be good at Power Slap? Those are our personal favorites. Maybe you thought of someone that we didn't think of. I think the easy answer is Lasha. Anyone who puts Lasha, we're just gonna block you. If we're gonna delete your comment, then we're gonna block you because you're a loser.
You won't.
Next piece of housekeeping. It is an important one. It is one that must be said. Zach Talander and I are friends, guys. It's not to be misconstrued. It's not to be. I think there's a lot of people out there that are like, who the fuck are these guys going back and forth about their squat jerks? All we wanted to do was jerk off with one of our homies. And that's what we did. Zach jerked off. I jerked off. He jerked off back. I still have yet to jerk off again, but I can tell you that jerk off is coming. So
it was a good fashion jerk off on social media. That's just
two dudes jerking off on social media. Like, you act like you haven't seen it before. It's friendly in nature. Big dopamine spike when you get that. When the jerk off goes right, get that huge dopamine spike.
It's great activity.
A lot of research. I think Andrew Huberman talks about this. How, you should handle your jerk offs with caution. Shouldn't do them too often because it can rewire your brain chemistry. Zach and I understand that. Our back and forth, purely friends having a little competition.
That's it.
That's it. We're leaving it at that. Jake, cut that clip. I'm going to send it to him personally so he knows. He knows, you know, everyone knows. Next week, actually, I'll probably wait until the Open is over just so I don't explode my shoulders. But as soon as the Open is over and I've only got, quarterfinals and Sea-Dog left to do, then I'll go for a 150. I'm going to go for a 151. The problem is that I think Zach has what, clean and jerked like 170 before?
He has.
Yeah. Okay. So my best ever...
The most he's only squat jerk, though, is 145.
So my best ever clean and jerk is 152. So all I have to do is clean and squat jerk 99% of that. If you believe in me, just hit subscribe, hit like. We'll take that as a sign of support.
Look, here's the deal. Can you clean and front squat it?
Without a doubt. Then you can push jerk it. I can push press it. Your boy's PP is strong and long.
PP gang, baby.
Go buy your gifted barbell club PP strong shirt with a push press. A person doing a push press. Write that down, Jake. Write that down. That's a good idea. And last piece of housekeeping is we are floating around the idea of doing a monthly complex competition. So, tag us in your complex, do the complex, whoever gets the highest for the month. You got a whole month to do it. So it could be a clean and a squat jerk. You could have a whole community of people jerking off at the same time. It's a beautiful sight. Can the people handle it? We think they can. And we'll send you some free apparel if you win that month's jerk off. So February jerk off champion.
That'll do it.
It's a can't miss t-shirt. We're sending it your way. So be on the lookout for those. I think I'm going to pass it over to Evan now. He has some actual things to say. So thanks. That was a great housekeeping. One of our better ones that we've done. Handled a lot of big questions there. Tackled a lot of really important topics.
That is a good one to end on. And as far as apparel, do we have a launch date for the Gifted Barbell Club apparel yet?
Yeah, I believe it's TBD, I think is the month, date, year on that one. So
yes, of course.
Yeah, TBD.
Done deal. Mark your calendars, people.
Yeah, right there.
Their days are numbered. Don't be afraid, but mark your calendars. As far as getting to real things, though, we jump into announcements. We jump into our topic of the day. Where do you want to go with this?
I didn't read it. So you gotta tell me what it is. Topic of the day.
That's okay. We'll jump topic of the day. Today, this podcast is airing a week before the start of American Open Series 1.
In Evan's defense, he actually does a really good job of writing the scripts. I'm actually very happy to have Evan as part of the podcast because
You say as you've written the past 3.
all the important stuff. But really good topic. I did read this one. I promise. All right. So sorry.
But no, as far as this, big thing, a week out from American Open, want to talk about some things relating to competition, right? Help the viewers figure their stuff out. The beginners, the intermediates, the pros, maybe give them some tips, but the beginners, the intermediates, help them figure it out. If it's their first time, their second time, they're new. So let's talk mindset. Let's talk the essentials for travel, for the gym bag. Let's talk tips for peaking, tips for making weight, and then really anything else that comes up, meet day strategy, wherever we take it. We talked about the the order of meet day supplements, episode 1, right?
Yep.
So let's take it a step further.
Those are essentials. So what we talked about then, those are things that you can't go without.
No.
What we're going to talk about today is the tip of the pyramid.
It's optional.
The little
outside of the singlet.
All right, I can start on mindset. I think if you're a first timer, like first time, I think a lot of people travel to Ohio to compete. So you're traveling out of state. Very likely there was a plane involved. That was such a weird way to say that. There was a plane involved. You're going to fly there, probably on a plane. And it's not going to be like a Lord of the Rings thing where like an owl comes and picks you up and takes you there. It's not going to be that situation. But for a mindset for a first timer, I think you just have to set yourself up for success. Success being like lifts that you know that you can make and go 6 for 6. Like if you are contending for a medal spot, like you're in the A session contending for a medal, it's not going to be your first time competing at a meet like this 95% of the time. There are standouts that rule does not apply to, but for you, you're probably somewhere in one of those later sessions. Give yourself a chance to have a good experience, have a good day of lifting, and go 6 for 6. I have seen, Evan, do you remember when I high-fived that girl that was in the middle of bombing out?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so
I do.
All right, so here's worst case scenario. This girl, and my fault here, I was just not paying as much attention as I should. So she goes out, first snatch, elbows buckle, she almost takes it to the back of the neck. So like, not a good start.
Tough go.
Not a reassuring start of like, all right, well, you're up next, homegirl. Goes out, misses her second. I thought she made it. So I'm walking by her back to the warm-up area, and I give her one of these. I give her a little fist bump, and I just go, good shit. Because I thought she made it, but she missed it. And this girl, bless her heart, she partook in the fist bump.
She loved it.
Did she make her third attempt?
I don't remember if she did.
I think she missed it and bombed out. It was a
very tense session next to us because that wasn't my session. That was another one of your athlete's sessions. And yeah, that whole session was just red.
That was rough. That was a rough moment for me. But the point there is like, that's a really bad experience to have. If you say your opener too ambitious, or even your second, your third attempts too ambitious, and you end up going like 2 for 6, or you bomb out and don't post a total, like very, very bad way to set yourself up for a long run with weightlifting and have a positive relationship. What would you say mindset for a meet like this?
I think the biggest thing, it's cliche to say, but early meets, especially at something like an American Open, where it is a bigger stage, there's a lot more people watching, is just to try and have fun. So kind of taking it a step higher in terms of specificity. But, I wouldn't say, I've never had the mindset of having an athlete early on try to go 6 for 6. At a first meet, I think 4 for 6 a lot of times is the goal that, come out positive, right? Make 2/3 of your attempts, maybe go for something big if it's there. Like, why not? At that point, you're comfortable, you're confident, give it a go. But don't take yourself too seriously. Laugh, smile. All of us have been there where we've got into a meet like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to be really serious.
Get the body bags.
Exactly. Don't fight your demons. Don't go demon time. Don't go goblin mode, whatever the hell is popular these days. Just go have fun. You love the sport. You're competing for a reason. You paid all this freaking money to get there for a reason. And if you're not in an A session and contending for anything, maybe push for something to challenge yourself. Push for something to beat your gym rival, whether they know it or not.
Fuck them.
But
Greg. Hey, Greg. Fuck you, Greg.
Fucking Greg, man. Call of Duty guy.
Oh no, Greg, we love you.
At their house.
Not that Greg.
Not that Greg. What Greg?
Not that Greg. This is just like a fictional Greg who trains next to me at the gym that I have a rivalry with.
Oh,
not the Greg.
Dad Greg. That
Yeah.
Greg.
Greg.
Yeah, we love
JB.
We love
Greg.
Big Greg. We love Big Greg. Big Russian Greg. We love him. But no, have fun with it. Make sure that you're on the same page with your coach and just meet people, meet the officials, take it all in.
Yeah,
As
make some
you
friends.
start-
Make some friends. Make some backroom friends. Share a platform with somebody. You see somebody who doesn't have their coach there, maybe they don't know about their attempts.
You remember that too? That was the same session.
It was the same exact session. No, that was a different session.
No, that was the same session, except that was in our session at the time.
Oh, yeah. Running 2 sessions at once. Fun. But yeah, make some friends. If you see someone who like needs a platform, invite them to train, lift on your platform to warm up, like make friends with them. You're such a weirdo if you go into one of these meets and you like are intentionally trying to be a dick to everyone, or you're like overly competitive about it. It's like, I'm about to this H session right in the ass. Like, what is wrong?
And a win from the H session.
Yeah, like, dude, let's take it easy. Let's make some friends. When you are posting AO finals or nationals totals and you're in that A session and you're contending, I give you permission to be as big of a dick as you want. You can say whatever you want to whoever you want, talk that shit, John North style. We love that. But if you're doing that in one of these lower sessions, you're ruining your time. You're ruining everyone else's time. Your coach hates you. He or she just takes your money because they got bills to pay.
Yeah, it's not a good look.
No.
It's not a
gym.
Well, we're on the topic of. Well, I was going to say, let's go into attempts. Planning attempts, then we can get to gym bag essentials.
All right, attempts. Ready? Opening attempt, 90%. Second attempt of your all-time best, 93 to 95%. Third attempt, 95 to 103%, depending on how the second attempt went. I think that these attempt selections work very well for a beginner because 90% is probably something that you can double even on a bad day. Think that the second attempt is something that you can hit for a single even on like a moderately okay day. And then making those first 2 lifts gives you the confidence to probably flex that third attempt up a little bit. I like those numbers. I've had people tell me it's like 95, 99, 105. I'm like, that's ambitious. But some people, they ball on those higher attempts.
Well, that sounds similar to like what the classic powerlifting meet methodology of like your opener should be something you can hit for a tough triple.
Powerlifters are disgusting. I don't talk to powerlifters.
Get that donut out of your mouth.
We weightlifters have an Olympic sport. We don't talk about them.
Yeah, we've got our little spandex singlets and naked knees or Velcro belts. But so it sounds like your overall view on it is similar to that.
Yes.
But, something that you can hit with your eyes closed, something that's tough on a bad day, but still doable. And then from there, if that's good, just see what happens.
I like the something you can hit with your eyes closed because I always imagine someone going out there and trying to hit it with their eyes closed. It's like you, the coach, are talking to your client. And you're like, your first attempt should be something that you can hit there with your eyes closed. And they read into that and they're like, Coach wants me to hit this.
Got it.
With my eyes closed. Like,
Yes, sir.
Coach, where's the bar? Coach?
Walk to the other platform, take that 20-kilo bar that the Masters lifter has, fucking crush it.
Yes. So be careful.
No, I think attempt-wise, that's probably pretty similar to how I've always looked at it. I know that for me, it's same thing of like, I think 4 for 6 is always a good goal that I have in my head with a meet. So starting 90, 95% somewhere in there, a little bit higher of a top end for that first attempt in my eyes compared to what you say. And then from there, 97 to 100 for the second. And then the third, probably up to 105, 107. If it's good, somewhere between there.
107. Dude, if you...
Why not? If you're early on, we're talking early on.
Early on? What does that mean? Oh, like early on in your weightlifting?
Yeah. I mean, like, how many times have
So if you're early on in your weightlifting
20 kilo
career,
PRs?
when you're early on in your weightlifting career and your technique isn't solidified on the biggest stage, let's go for a 9-kilo PR so that you can get paralyzed in front of your friends, family, and a large crowd.
That's if it's good. That's the top end of the spectrum.
It's definitely on the spectrum. That attempt selection is definitely on the spectrum.
Oh God, that's fucked.
No, I like Evan's attempts better than mine. I always like being ambitious. Guys, like, here's the thing about weightlifting. It's a sport, it's a hobby, it's for fun. Like, if you're someone who's like, yo, I don't really care about making my third attempts. I'm just gonna go for something huge. Shooters shoot, and that's me. I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna shoot the shot. And I can dig that. I can dig that. I think, hear me out, I think that is more of like a CrossFitter's transition to weightlifting strategy than someone who grew up in classic weightlifting all the way through. My viewpoint is that like classic weightlifting is like post your total, go 6 for 6, make sure your attempts are conservative, take what's there on the day. Whereas like the CrossFit who turned weightlifter mentality is like, yo, you never know what could happen. I just did 145 pull-ups. I bet I can PR my hang snatch.
You can't say so. I guess you would be a little bit different since you went from weightlifting to CrossFit with the transition. But I remember so many times where there would be workouts where it was, 13, 15-minute AMRAP of something that was just heavy pulling volume. And then from there it was, hey, you have 10 minutes to find the 1 rep max or 5 minutes to find the 1 rep max. And it hit like a 10-pound PR.
Yeah, I'm saying that I like that.
This is great.
I love that mentality. I think
It's
that's
awesome.
better. I think that's a better mentality.
But if you're talking just post a total, you just got to go 2 for 6.
You know what it is? It's the old school, which is like the post a total, versus the new school, which is the max out, which will forever be known as the max out blackout mentality, the MOBO mentality. Mm-hmm. Use that in your hashtags. They're the MOBO mentality, where it's like you never know what's going to happen. Might as well go for it. Think to your like all-time best PRs. Usually 9 times out of 10 they happen on sessions, and your reflection on that is like, I wasn't going for a PR that day, but it was just there. Same thing can happen on the platform. I wasn't going for a PR that day, but it was just there. And I did it on the biggest platform, and I won the H session, so I power slapped the girl who came in second place.
And then G through A session, nobody posted a total, so you just got a gold medal.
Now you can whip and nay-nay.
Damn it. God damn it. Okay. Whip, nay, and then pick up your gym bag, open it, and tell us what's inside.
Okay, the first thing that's inside is Winstrol, so Stanzolol. 50 milligrams.
Stanozolol and a needle.
50 milligram tablets, preferably.
Not our recommendation. Don't tell anybody that we told you to do that. But, if you wanted to, it may not be a bad idea.
And DM at EvanSmith98 on Instagram if you need to buy some. He's your guy.
I'm the guy. Yeah, I've got it in my closet.
He's got it in his gym bag. He literally just said it. Did you not hear that?
Anybody who's posting over 200 total, they're on some stuff.
All right.
Okay.
Gym bag, knee sleeves, squat shoes. Hopefully your singlet is already on you, so you don't need that. Some hydration, some carbon hydrates, maybe some protons as well. Me personally, I know people hate on them, but I'm a disgusting human being, retired bodybuilder. I like a complete cookie. Oh!
On meat day?
On meat day.
Shit yourself.
I'm not worried about that. I got a backup singlet.
You're gonna be the AO Finals 89 stars platform AO pooper.
I want to, because his poop was I can do better.
You can't do better.
I can leave a pile. I can have like 4 bowls of Raisin Bran the night before, and they're not delaying the session. They're calling off the session because they have
saying no.
They have to build a new platform. It got deep into the crevices, like someone stepped on it by accident. It was a whole thing. But I'm complete cookie. I think it sits well, digests. You have to understand that my gut from 10 years of bodybuilding is like, it's not a good place to be. It's a war zone.
Complete cookies, I feel like that's a good call. They mess my gut up, man.
I think next year,
gassy and bloated. Like,
hopefully, I gotta convince Jason of it. But next year for the Gifted Fantasy Football League, we're gonna do complete cookies. So if you lose like week 12, you have to eat 12 complete cookies in one sitting.
You're gonna have a block coming out 3 weeks later. Nothing until then. That's like borderline hospitalization there.
All right, fine. You made fun of what's in my bag. Then what's in your bag? What's so great about what's in your bag?
What's in my bag?
What's in
nothing.
the bag?
No. For me, carbs, I think the biggest thing is the classic gummy candy. Either a gummy candy or a Gatorade, depending on how you feel. Some days, you feel nervous. You may not want something in your stomach. You may just want to sip on something. Sip on some juice minus the gin. You know? But if not, gummy candy. Something sour. Something that's going to make you happy, right? I always have something for in between my attempts, and then always, for me, I have something that is something I can eat between snatch and clean and jerk that just puts a smile on my face. For me, it's a Reese's Fast Break. That's always my go-to, a king size there. The baby of, or the love child of a Snickers and a Reese's. Delicious if you've never had one. Drink-wise, also agree with the hydration, especially if you're doing a weight cut. Electrolytes, something like an element pack, water. And then equipment-wise, weightlifting shoes, belt, maybe, if you wear one. If you don't,
a two-ply squat suit that you wear underneath your singlet.
3-ply. We're going multiply, baby. We need to make a snatch suit. There were conversations of making a snatch suit that was just a full, basically a wetsuit, but just a full neoprene suit.
Okay.
In development now.
Yeah.
Thumb tape, wrist wraps, the classics. Keep it simple. Band-aids in case your knees and shins start getting scraped up, because nobody likes a bloody bar. There's a lot of sessions that just get stopped all the time for bloody bars. Not fun for anybody. And then headphones and chalk. Those are probably the last two. If you're a music person, bump some tunes in your ears while you're warming up. If not, listen to people just stress out around you when they miss their opening attempts because they go too heavy. That's always a fun time too.
Sucks to be that guy.
It does.
You fist bump.
Suck to be that guy.
If they come back after their second miss, you just hit them with a good shit.
Take it back here, man. You'll make it.
I wonder if that girl still thinks about me. I think about her a lot. I hope she's well. I hope she's weightlifting. I hope she's gone 6 for 6 in every meet since then. She's like, I'll fucking show that guy that good.
Anytime she misses a lift now, I'm sure she just thinks to it and she's like, it's okay. That one guy has my back.
I had something to say about your gym bag, but I already forgot. Oh, here we go. Ready? All right. Weirdest thing that you've seen someone eat in the warm-up room.
In the warm-up room? Not like close way in, like in the warm-up area?
Like in the warm-up area.
I feel like the thing that caught me off guard once was seeing somebody with just a big old Jimmy John's sandwich.
Like, you know which one it was?
After their second snatch.
Number 7?
I have no idea. It smelled salty. It smelled Italian.
Okay, so it might have been...
There was some salami and cappello on there.
Yeah. Jimmy John's pretty good. JJ?
Free sniffs. But
yeah. James Jonathan.
Session? Something that big, that heavy?
I mean, some people, they got it.
Complete cookie.
They got it. Yeah, I'm going complete cookie. I could hang out with that Jimmy John's. Maybe we trade halvesies. I split mine in half. We got half a sub. We get a 6-inch and a cookie.
What about you, though?
All right. So my weirdest one, and it's like a whole, like it was weird in like the food, and it was also weird in like the explanation. So, it was someone who was eating like coconut crusted like chicken. It was like coconut crusted like fried chicken, right? It's like
delicious,
normal, yeah, normal and delicious. Like that's good, that's tasty. I walked up to him because I couldn't see what it was that he was eating. I was like, "Oh, what are you eating?" It's like popcorn shrimp chicken.
Interesting.
What is it? Shrimp or chicken? He goes, "Oh, it's chicken." I was like, "Oh, okay." So like chicken, like coconut chicken. He's like, "Yeah, like popcorn shrimp chicken." He just kept saying
popcorn shrimp chicken.
Popcorn shrimp chicken. I was like, oh,
which one is it?
I don't know. Maybe it was both. Maybe he was saying like it's popcorn, shrimp, and chicken.
Or maybe it was just a small chicken.
I honestly haven't seen a lot of people eating like strange stuff. I've seen people like drinking a very abnormal amount of energy drinks, like pounding like 3 or 4 bangs before the session. It's like nothing calms your nerves, like 1,600 milligrams of caffeine. Course after your veins,
just suck.
Yeah, that tones you down. It evens me out. take my Adderall in the morning, and then I really bring myself down with 4 bags shotgun.
Ooh, you wash your Adderall down with the 4 bags.
Oh yeah, that's true. What else? So I feel like backstage at a weightlifting meet is a lot more like cultured in terms of what people eat. I always think, because I have a weird reference point of like bodybuilding, like what people eat backstage at bodybuilding shows, which is like
a lot of superstition with bodybuilding about like getting pumps and like, oh, you got to eat this right now.
Dude, I saw
to drink that.
I saw she was probably like 105 pounds, a 105-pound girl taking shots of vodka and eating chocolate frosting out of the tub by the tablespoon. Like shot of vodka, tablespoon of icing, just straight like store-bought icing.
No, why don't we have that in weightlifting back rooms?
Where is that in the weightlifting back room?
Where is the alcohol? Where is the obscene amounts of sugar and fat?
Yeah, it's weightlifting. Don't let bodybuilding beat you. We need to be the weirdest sport. So take it up. What's weirder?
Pizza deliveries to the back.
What's weirder than frosting? You bring your own easy bake oven. You make cinnamon rolls, but you only eat the icing.
Take the cinnamon rolls, pull the icing tub out, and just finger the icing.
Yeah, just eat the icing from there.
You like the smell of the cinnamon rolls, not the flavor. You don't like the taste of the roll.
I feel like the back room, if I smelled some cinnamon rolls cooking up, I'd be happy with that.
What if you just did it in the stands then?
That's true.
I think that would be a little bit weirder. Just have somebody come up to that barrier and just pull out an easy bake oven.
Pull up. I keep that bag on.
Come out. Come through with those C rolls.
All right. What other productive stuff do you have on here?
I think last thing, staying on weight. Things to consider. You know, travel is a tough one. A lot of people end up holding a lot of water when they travel. Some people end up with just a lot of bloat, a lot of indigestion. The stress really impacts some people. So, you know, in your opinion, what are some things that you would recommend if somebody is trying to cut a little bit of weight? What can they do? Or if somebody's thinking, hey, should I try and cut down to a new weight class or should I just sit where I'm at? You know, what are the factors you're looking at there with an athlete?
First timers, don't cut weight. Compete where you are. Don't add another stressful piece of the journey, especially if you're traveling. Just compete where you are. Show up, weigh in, lift some weights, go home, be happy. If you are super competitive, if you're on the upper end, AO finals, nationals, A session, need to be on weight, there are a good amount of strategies that you can use. I think on our YouTube, we have like a weight considerations, making weight for weightlifting. So Jake, if you want to find that and then link that up there, so people can watch that if they want. But finish the episode first. Don't you dare leave the episode now. But there are definitely some things that you can do with water, like hyperhydration, overhydrating, and then starting to pull it back. Things that you can do with sodium to make yourself retain less water, as well as carbohydrates. With powerlifting, it's a lot easier to cut more weight because in a powerlifting meet, especially in untested powerlifting, you have a 24-hour weigh-in, which means that you weigh in 24 hours between the meet, which you can do all sorts of weird stuff. You can get IV, you can do fluid, you can do water. Or you can do fluid, you can do food, sodium, all that stuff to bring it back. With weightlifting, 1 hour weigh-in, and we see this at, I think Max and Seb do a really good job of this when they talk about, you know, when they commentate the weightlifting meets, they can tell someone cut too much weight. It's very obvious, like they're just not moving very well.
There's bags of bananas. Yeah.
It's very easy to tell who cut too much weight. So I would say, you know, if you're 1 to 3% away from your weight class, just walking around, not a bad idea to cut. You can pretty easily get there. If you're greater than 5% away, I would not worry about it short term and then look at some fat loss strategies so that you can compete leaner and don't have to cut so much water the next time around. Other than that, weight is probably not something that you should be super concerned with unless you are a session national level lifter. Yeah,
no, definitely agree with that. A lot of people limit themselves for a number of different reasons, and that's a conversation for another time. But if you're too far off, don't push it just because you think that, hey, this is a great weight class to be in. Just, again, have fun with it. See where you're at. Focus on getting stronger. Focus on training well. And focus on raising the floor to raise the ceiling, like you always say.
I also think that people dog on social media, right? Social media is what's wrong with society today, and that's what's to these kids. They do all this stuff. Social media can be great in terms of making weight. It's a super great thing because if you don't make weight, you can just go to social media, post about how you got screwed over, how the scale was wrong, how they fucked up your weigh-in time or whatever. And then if you're someone with like a lot of followers, you can just like shout that out into your echo chamber, and then people will just comment like, oh man, you're still the best. Like, you're so good. Like, your lifts were amazing. You were going to win. And then one person might come along and be like, yo, but you didn't make weight and you didn't lift, which means that you lost like by a lot because you posted a total of 0 because you didn't lift. And then social media, because it's awesome, all of your fans and followers can then just like berate that person and like report their account. And like, you can just live in this echo chamber of how awesome you are, even though you objectively failed your mission of like lifting any weight, and it'll all be okay. So social media, Instagram, Facebook, awesome for that. Really good on you guys. Like, love that about it.
It's great. It's great. I feel like we're talking about the same person here, someone in particular, but
nah, I'm not.
No, could be wrong.
I think no, this isn't a bit. This is not sarcasm. This is not comedy. We want to end the episode here on a very serious statement about the wonders of social media and how it's really awesome to have an echo chamber that always has your back no matter what. And even if you objectively fail, like they'll still support you. Like, that's
gonna have the ride or dies, man.
Yeah, that's a good thing, right? Now, having no personal responsibility or accountability for your actions or the things that you say or the things that you promise to people is probably the best thing that you want in life.
That's it. Just make a public apology and make a long novel under the Instagram post. Continue.
The novel is key. It was everyone else's fault. It wasn't yours. There was travel involved. Like, there's nothing that you could do on your end. It was purely other people. But please use my discount code for the app that maybe is the reason why I didn't make weight in the first place.
Well, I think that's a good place to call it. As far as other announcements to wrap us up, what do we got? We've got, first and foremost, are we good to announce our title sponsor?
Don't announce it. Come back next week and you'll see who our title sponsor is. Just leave them with something. Next week, 2 weeks. Next week.
Keep an eye on the page.
Yeah, next week we might try and re-record that RP episode. So next week we might record.
We'll see what happens. But Max Out Blackout registration still open. Early registration window extended to March 1st, so February 28th. February 28th, last day to sign up before prices go up. Competition is on April 8th, so we're getting up there about a month and a half out. Mark your calendars. What else do we have?
I have
drawn a blank for our announcements.
Yeah, I have nothing. I'm worthless.
Cool. Well, and Matt, you all know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe if you're watching us on YouTube. If you're on Spotify, give us a rating, follow the podcast, share it with your friends. And if you share this podcast out with hashtag Big Friday Podcast, we will legally represent you when you go to confront your coach about how you went off program, and we'll handle all of that for you to make sure that you're allowed to.
Remember, that 60% on your program today, cross out the 6, add a 10, go up to whatever you're feeling for the day. Max it out, folks. And like Evan said, we will legally represent you in a court of Instagram law. We love you. We'll see you on the next episode. For now, peace out.
Toodaloo.